The Lead, presented by Access Storage, Canada's storage leader.
Proudly supporting communities from grassroots to gold medals.
Well, it seemed like the one sure thing heading into these Olympic Games was that the quad god, Ilia Malinin, would win a gold medal in the men's single event. It seemed as though he was well on his way, and then disaster struck. He finished 8th. Can't believe it. Unbelievable scenes over on the ice. And in case you're wondering just how big of a favorite he was a minus 10,000 favorite. According to most sports books going into this, he had not lost since November of 2022. Here to talk to us about it all is figure skating royalty, the one and only Kurt Browning is here. Kurt, this is your world. I can't wait to hear your immediate reaction. What did we just witness?
The Olympic Games on full display is what we just witnessed. It's so powerful the way the world watches for one moment to happen. You wait 4 years, yes, but it's your whole life. And anything can and always seems to happen at the Olympic Games. Ilia did the first quad flip. He opens beautiful, nice and strong. In hindsight, maybe it wasn't perfect, but it was typical Ilia. But it was the quad axel that has put him on the map, the only athlete on the planet in our sport to ever land it. And he went for it, and he singled it, and something must have snapped in that moment. So he didn't need it. That's Ariel, that's what's so interesting. He didn't need it, and he went for legendary status. He wasn't shooting for gold, he was shooting for Mount Olympus, and missed.
Amazing when you put it that way. And so do you think that perhaps the moment got to him because he usually makes those jumps? He's usually unflappable. Yeah. Is it possible that in these first Olympic Games for Ilia that perhaps the moment got too big? What do you think?
I don't think that's it. I literally think it was the smaller moment. I think it was the unexpectedness of the mistakes that I think threw him off. When you're used to driving home every day from work for 10 years, and then there's a roadblock. And that's what happened to him today. When the little mistake, well, it wasn't a big little mistake, but as soon as he made the mistake when I was calling on the air, I said, the gold is not gone. He's allowed like 2 big mistakes, at least. He's got such a lead. He's got so many other quads to rely on to make up for any mistakes. He made that big pop, opened up on the quad axle. I said, he's still golden. But I think something switched in his brain. And so I don't think it was the moment. I don't think that he stepped on the ice and started playing games in his head. I think that unexpected mistake threw him, and that's my best guess. What a story.
And perhaps for the layman out there, can you explain as perhaps simple as possible, what is that mistake? When you're seeing that mistake, when you're talking about that mistake, I'm just seeing someone make a mistake, but I don't know technically what he was doing wrong. Can you describe it for us?
Cool. Okay, so this skater skates down the ice to do this big thing called the quad axel, 4.5 revolutions in the air. As you can imagine, if it's got all this hype, it must take a lot of energy. So when his timing didn't work, when all that energy to go up into the air and rotate 4.5 times, we call it popping. Everything opens up because it has to go somewhere. And something in that particular moment made him start to second guess or question. And everyone in the skating world knows that the technique that you've worked your whole life for can start to get out of grasp. And the harder you reach for it, it's like you're pushing it away from you instead of pulling it calmly back into your heart and into your body and into your system and into the moment. It got away from him, and everybody who's in figure skating knows it. But to have it come from somebody who's so viciously consistent, I'm still in shock. I am in shock. I have been shaking. I'm emotional. I remember my Olympics when I had a chance as world champion to win and it didn't work. And I'm gutted. I'm gutted for him. So happy for Steven Gogolev from Canada, who earlier in the evening laid down a beautiful skate, a good short and a good long program. And the evening wasn't a good one, Ariel. It was a badly skated event. And so this created an opportunity for Steven to just keep lingering near the top with that beautiful program that he had put earlier in the evening. And he ended up, I'm looking at it, I can't believe it, Steven Gogolev, 2nd in the long program at the Olympic Games, 5th overall. He should have a parade when he gets home.
I hope he gets one of those. Can I ask perhaps, I'm trying to think of a reason as to what happened here because it just seems like a titanic upset. Do you think perhaps hubris got to Ilia? Do you think that because he felt like he was so far ahead that he could try to go for legendary status, as you say, and maybe his ego got the best of him? I know we're speculating here, but you know him better than I do. Do you think that came into play?
The idea that he has had in the back of his mind is not to just be an Olympic champion. Because honestly, everyone in the sport, he just has so many more bullets in the gun than everyone else that it was almost handed to him. That's a very dangerous place to be in, because when it's already assumed, it's hard to go out there and fight for it, right? It's already there. You just have to do what? Walk through the steps? You can't. In figure skate, in all sports, you can't just walk through the steps. So maybe there was like a casualness to him. Maybe there was a little hubris. But it definitely was the shock of the mistake that I think he just couldn't recover from.
Biggest upset in figure skating history, or at least Olympic history? Is that a fair thing to say?
I hadn't thought of it. Absolutely, Ariel. I completely agree with you. It has to be. It has to be. As I said afterwards, I know him quite well. I work with him on Stars on Ice. He'll be touring the United States on Stars on Ice, and I could barely breathe. My hands were shaking, my fingers were shaking. So happy for the two Japanese skaters, Yuma Kageyama and Shun Sato, worked so hard. Great representatives of our sport. Shadorov just sat in the chair that they give you as you're the leader. Maybe a bronze, he's thinking, maybe. And then when he got silver, you could see he was so shocked. But gold over Ilia Malinin, biggest, yes, you're right. Probably the biggest ever over surprise victory.
His reaction.
Yeah.
His reaction when he realized that he won gold is certainly something to remember. One of the great images of these games. Tremendous insight, Kurt. Thank you so very much for joining us. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, I'm gonna go have a nap. Okay.
You deserve it.
Have fun over there.
Much.
The Lead, presented by Access Storage, Canada's storage leader.
Proudly supporting communities from grassroots to gold medals.